In the year 212 AD, Emperor Caracalla killed his younger brother and co-emperor Geta in cold blood to become sole emperor of the Roman Empire. All references to the existence of Geta were erased. It was as if Caracalla was rewriting history for his benefit. In AD 217, the emperor known as Caracalla, a fiery and erratic emperor, chose to erect this triumphant arch at Volubilis in present-day Morocco. His decision was a curious one. Why would an emperor choose to erect a triumphal arch, such a potent means of communicating grandeur and majesty of power, in a place like Volubilis? To answer this question is to understand how potent the triumphal arch was as a means of communication, and also what that would mean for the inhabitants of a place like Volubilis, so far away from the great epicenter of Rome. The Triumphal Arch has long been an effective means of communication under the Roman Empire. From its first examples in Rome, subsequent emperors would erect arches to commemorate victories and send messages of their might, success, and glory throughout the Roman world. Examples include Trajan's Arch, located near Benvenuto in Italy. This magnificent arch commemorates Trajan's numerous military victories, including his conquering of the Dacians, a fierce tribe emanating from what is now modern-day Romania. Emperor Trajan is depicted gloriously throughout the numerous reliefs visible on this arch. Overlooking the Roman Forum, the Arch of Titus was erected to commemorate the sacking of Jerusalem. Septimus Severus, a North African general and the father of Caracalla, erected this arch to highlight his victories over the Parthians, located in areas of modern-day Iraq. Constantine's arch was built to commemorate his victory over his rival Maxentius at the Battle of the Milvian Bridge after 312 AD. In all these examples, it is fairly evident that the arch was a direct means of propaganda to solidify the emperor's hold on power. It is interesting to note that all the aforementioned emperors were not descendants of a bloodline, but military rulers who maintained kingship by virtue of their conquests. The arch does not merely celebrate a victory as much as it legitimizes authority. If an emperor wanted to solidify his position on the throne, then by Jupiter he would erect an arch. This is neither the most well-preserved, nor the most ornate, nor the grandest example of a triumphal arch, but its significance in a place like Volubilis is monumental. For in an era when citizens would not have contact with their emperor, nor even know what he looked like, this was a fantastic way of communicating the might of Rome, the grandeur of the emperor, and the power that was the empire. In the far reaches of the empire, the arch was a way to Romanize the population and relay a contiguity with Rome.
Why do you put a triumphal arch? What is it? It's basically a piece of elaborate street furniture. It's not a gate. It has a huge inscription on it, and it's this city saying, we're Roman. The people here, even though they speak Neo-Punic and Berber and stuff, we belong to the Roman Empire. And there's probably a lot of soldiers who've been given land here and been integrated into the Roman system.
Centuries, the Roman Empire had tried to subdue many of the tribes over here since the time of Hannibal and thereon. The significance of a city like Volubilis, therefore, is monumental, because to build a city along the western fringes of the empire in a place like North Africa would have far-reaching implications towards the locals who would live here. Even at the arch at Volubilis, there are evidence of portraits and niches that would display the central role the emperor played in daily life. For Moroccans today, Volubilis is a rich heritage site full of clues to the past that shed light on their identity. Its importance in Moroccan culture can be displayed in the prevalence of the arch. Today, the arch is ubiquitous, but in Roman times, it was quite an innovation. In a place like Morocco today, the arch can be found in mosques, in homes, and pretty much everywhere else. But in Roman times, the arch was a fantastic innovation that would allow for more widespread building and a division of weight, and allow for structures to be higher, taller, and significantly a lot more grander. Each year, over 100,000 visitors bring themselves to this UNESCO heritage site to view one of the greatest remnants of Roman civilization left as a reminder of their domination over North Africa.
I suppose if you know the Roman authorities are kind of building a thing like this, you want to be part of it. It's sophisticated. So, but I think in all these cities, and the inscriptions show this. You've got things in Neo-Punic, you've got things in Latin, inscriptions in Greek have been found here. They're quite cosmopolitan sorts of cities.
Today, while the remains of what was Volubilis remain covered in dust, its symbols have been appropriated by places that, despite having escaped the hegemony of Rome, turn to it for a lesson in communicating to the masses. India Gate, erected in Delhi in 1931. Washington Square Park in New York City. The Wellington Arch, located in Hyde Park, London. Bucharest, Romania. Even Pyongyang, North Korea. And of course, Napoleon's Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Around the world over, the arch has become a means for the state to express itself. Today, Volubilis may be deserted, but a place like Paris throbs with activity. Structures like the Arc de Carrousel behind me bears testament to the vitality of the Triumphal Arch as a means of communication. While Volubilis today may be covered in dust, and the memories of Caracalla are just mere echoes in time, the Triumphal Arch outlasts them all as a structure of communication. Marshall McLuhan once famously said that the medium is the message. And if that was indeed true, then I can think of no better examples than the structure behind me. Today, the only statues that you'll find at Volubilis, unfortunately, are not made of stone. But there are many enthusiastic tourists who will come to Volubilis and display the enthusiasm they would have for something that is Roman civilization. Well done, thank you. Today, the only statues that you'll find at Volubilis are not made of stone. But there are many enthusiastic tourists who will come to a site like Volubilis and display what it is, that love of learning, and display that ardor for Roman civilization that is so inherent in all of us. A facet that makes us appreciate a part of ourselves, a history that is untold in so many chapters, yet a single iota can express more than 1,000 words.